what do they look like they're meeting up with? Yeah, that picture kind of shows it looking like they're meeting up with the blood vessels. But so far as the gray and the white matter, what does it look like the anterior rootlets are coming into? The white matter. See how that's different? Okay? Because remember, information, we have to have information come along the spinal nerve. That's my sensory information, my general senses. Touch, sight, sound, taste, hearing, equilibrium. When we say sensory information goes into the spinal cord. Information that has to go into the spinal cord enters on the posterior side. That's the information that needs to be integrated. Is everybody following me? Let me know. Stop me if you're not. Any questions? So the sensory information that's coming in, like for example, it's the middle of the night, you have to get up, go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, whatever the case might be, and it's dark in the house, and you walk along, and then boom, hit your toe. Have y'all seen that picture flying around on Facebook of the person that happened to, and the pinky toe is completely bent over like that? Oh my goodness, I looked at that and I just cringed. But something like that happened, that sensory information hitting over your toe, all right, that went in, integrated it very quickly, because when that happened, do you think that person kept that toe right there for a long time? No, most likely they pulled it away, and then all the other stuff happens. Y'all know what I mean? Okay, so it got integrated, and I had to get a response. Pull away. Okay, that's what happened. Isn't that pretty cool? But wait a minute, that only occurred pretty much at this level right here, this segment. What about at this point in time, how many of you might be flexing your foot as you're sitting there? You're thinking about that. So that means that information had to go up the spinal cord to an area of the brain to get the response to come back down to get you to flex. That's pretty cool, I think. So these are some of the things that happen with this gray and this white matter of that spinal cord going to the brain. So that means sensory information went in, we integrated, and we got our response out from the anterior side. But wait a minute, there was only one spinal nerve. Ooh, what does that mean? It's okay, we're going to get to that. So, when we look at the gray matter on this posterior side, we've got those posterior horns. On the anterior, we have some horns that are present They just don't technically meet up with these rootlets. It's a little more complicated, but still happens. And we call it being connected by median bridge. Because in our understanding of our nervous system, we've got our right side, our left side. You probably talked about right brain, left brain, okay? And in our understanding, that's sort of how we think about it. We think of it as being either right brain or left brain. Spinal cord, same thing, right, left, okay? So, in this area of the bridge, we have what's called the central canal. And that's exactly what it looks like, a canal. What do you, Nick, I'm sorry, do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Don't interrupt.
So I'm kind of confused. So the median bridge, that's connecting the anterior horns to the rootlets?
Actually, it's when we look at that that median bridge, it's going to be from left to right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what separates the senses from left and right?
Yes. The way that we understand it, and thinking that the right half of the brain controls the left of the body, and the left of the brain controlling the right of the body, okay? That tends to be how we think about it. Not everything occurs that way, but for the most part, yes, that's what happens. Now, that central canal that's running down through it, first of all, what comes to mind when you hear the term canal? River, water, narrow. Okay, so this is my area for my CSF. This is my area for fluid. Because we got to have movement of that fluid so that it can wash over all the tissues. So the central canal is going to be the area of movement for the water. Something that we also see in the gray matter. We have a lateral horn on each side. This little area right here and right here. This is going to come back to us when we get to our chapter on the autonomic nervous system. This one, basically, roughly T2 to L1, this is going to deal with my sympathetic nervous system. So this means it's going to be autonomic by itself, which is going to be for our organs. Okay, so that lateral horn is what we're going to get to when we get to that chapter. Now, the white matter that's present in the picture that's being shown, note that as we look at left versus right, on the right, you see how they've got the stuff marked in green? Okay? On the left, they've got the stuff marked in red. The reason that they've divided it like that, they're trying to let us understand about a tract, T-R-A-C-T. Why they just couldn't go with T-R-A-C-K? Okay, because it's very similar. You know, if you got a tract, okay, but a tract, what they're letting us know, it's one-way movement. We either have information that is going up the spinal cord or down, but each one is present on each side. So note that they're trying to show an ascending track over here on the left, okay? But realize what you see in red would be over here on the right also. And what you see on the green would be on the left also. But what they're trying to get us to understand is the area of the spinal cord. Do you see the difference? How these two are equal to these two, So that means information moving up on the left, information moves up on the right also. Information that has to come down, we've got this one over here on the right, but it would also be over here on the left. They're just trying to give a representation of the differences for the area of location. Okay? We already said sensory information has to move up. Response has to move down. Sensory information is by way of my ascending tracks. Responses are descending. So, in the white matter, yes, there is a lot of myelin that's present. These are bundles of axons. Hold up. What? When we talk about the structure of an axon, we tend to talk of it in terms of the nerve cell body. We tend to talk of it in terms of the axon, the terminal ends, and the dendrites. Yes? Well, wait a minute. These are bundles of axons. Where is my nerve cell body? And where is my terminal ends? All right, you'll all quickly find out I'm not an artist, okay? Talk about being left-brained. Is that the one that's for the scientific side? Whichever one, okay? So, let's go back. Okay, where we're going to have our brain and our spinal cord, okay? Then, over the body, all right, we've got our little skeletal muscles. Let's give them some little biceps over here, okay? Now, information has to go up the spinal cord. That means there has to be some type of receptor, okay? Free nerve ending, a corpuscle, whatever the case might be, okay? So, let me think here for a second. If I've got the receptor right here, okay, which part do you think I'm referring to? Dendrites and cell body, axon, or terminal end? I'm looking at my little dendrites, my nerve cell body, and then my axon has to go into the spinal cord and it has to synapse. Where was my area of synaptic contact? On my posterior horn in the gray matter. Now, if I've made it to the posterior horn of my gray matter and I need to have information go up the spinal cord, that means in that gray matter, these terminal ends are meeting what part of a neuron in the gray matter?